Howdy, guys. Welcome to Keeping It Free. So today is 14 months carnivore. Started at 345. I am now down to 225. My ultimate goal was 220, so I'm 5 pounds away. So I have been gone for a while. Last couple months, I really haven't been able to post much. I've had a lot going on, and I got a mic. I got to remember, I'm so used to yelling at my camera. Anyways, hopefully the mic helps a little bit. It is a cheap mic, but nevertheless, it is a mic, and I'm not just using the camera mic. But anyways, I've been super busy. I've just had a lot of stuff going on. There's people here. You can hear them in the background. I apologize. Um, but I have not stopped carnivore. I've been steadily going at it. For the last 4 months, I had kind of hit a wall and I had been stuck in just a rut. Wasn't really budging much out of the 230 areas. I'd dip back into the 220 and then I'd come back up to the 230. And for, like I said, for like 4 months, it wasn't really going. It wasn't really moving down beyond, I think, 227. And finally, I broke that wall and I'm now hitting that 225. And I'm hitting 224, 225, 226, just kind of roughly staying in that area. So at least I'm staying in the 20s at this point. Like I said, I do measure once a month. That is the weight that I go by. But I will sporadically throughout the month check my weight just to see how things are going, and so that's how I do know if I'm bouncing around. And that is a heads up to anyone: if you're looking at that scale every day it is going to move, and it'll probably go down and then up 5 pounds. Ignore that if you can. Ignore it. Keep doing what you're doing. You have no idea what's going on in your body. You don't know if you're retaining water, if you just didn't get rid of the food that you ate, if you grew some muscle. I don't know. I don't know all the inner in and outs of what uh, possess someone to gain 6 pounds one day and then maybe 3 days later drop it back off again and then maybe drop down another 2 pounds. Don't know how all that works, but I do know that if you can just measure once a month and just stick with that measurement, that's when you'll be able to see results from a month to month basis and it doesn't freak you out as much. Um, so for anyone that does hit a wall, I would say stick with it. I mean, I see people, they'll post that probably within 2 3 weeks they're like, I haven't budged. I mean, that's going to happen. I don't think that's a wall at all. I don't even think a month or 2 months is a wall, especially as you're getting closer to your weight. You just got a lot of stuff kind of going on, and your body's starting to adjust to everything. But as long as you stick to it, um, you're going to start moving your way back down again. I think obviously you get 3 months, 4 months, you're kind of stuck at a wall there for a while. But I didn't change anything. I really just kind of kept going with it. My whole idea behind this was to not rush it. That was from day one. I did not want to rush this like I did everything else. I just wanted to gradually keep going with it, and then month to month see what happens. And that's what I've been doing for the last 14 months, and it's been working for me. Uh, I did want to go over a whole bunch of questions that I've been getting asked quite a bit. So if you don't mind, I'll be looking over here and then back at you. But like I said before, this is 14 months that I've been doing carnivore. I have lost overall 120 pounds because I am now down to 225. And once again, that is from the 345. And yes, I did weigh more than 345, but I don't count that because that was years before. And I really didn't know how much more I weighed at that point. I do know at my heaviest, I was probably at 260. Um, so the questions follow. They're not in any particular order. These are just questions that I get asked often. And so I just wanted to make a video to kind of address these questions, and I'll answer them as truthfully as I can. And just keep in mind everything that I do. These are just things that work for me. I'm not suggesting to anyone to do what I do. I just know that I did these things and I've had pretty decent results with them. But let's go ahead and do this. So, question number one: did you hit a wall? Already answered that. And yes, I did hit about a 4 month wall. And how did you get over it? I just stuck with it. I didn't really change my diet much. I just kind of kept doing what I've been doing, and it eventually started to work its way back down. What is your workout? So people have a hard time believing this, and I'm not an anomaly. I'm not like anything super special. I have a hard time telling people that I wasn't weak when I was a bigger guy. I was pretty strong. The pictures made me look pretty sloppy, and I was sloppy. I mean, I was 345 pounds on a frame that probably can't hold any more than 210 pounds without starting to, get a little overweight. I mean, right now, as it sits, that was 120 pounds of fat that was on my body. So I was coated pretty heavily, so you couldn't see how strong I was underneath all that stuff. So as I started to lose weight, my arms did not get bigger. They shrunk month to month to month. The muscle that I had underneath that just started to show, obviously, as the weight started to melt off around them. Now I'm not new to the gym by any means. I'm just not consistent in the gym. I'm not a gym rat by any means. I can go, I can have a month where I'm pretty successful, and I'll go 1 to 3 times a week that whole month, do pretty good, and then next month a whole bunch of stuff. I'm poor, guys, super poor. So when things happen, they hit me hard, and I don't have time for anything else. It's pretty much work, 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 work. Uh, so I can't be consistent. That was my point. I can't be super consistent with like gym and anything that takes time out of my day. That's beyond me trying to make some kind of revenue. So I'm pretty inconsistent, and I will go. I'll have months that I don't go at all. This last month I didn't go at all. My first 4 to 6 months, and I can't remember. I really didn't go to the gym. As a matter of fact, I was a tow truck driver, so I spent most of my time in a truck driving. And now I do construction work. It is labor intensive, not every day, but a lot of days it can be. I do get a lot of sun exposure and stuff like that. Um, but as far as going to the gym, I'm I don't know. I don't. There's nothing really special that I do. I do basic weights, free weights, mostly dumbbells because I go to Gold's Gym. Sorry, it's cheap and it's right down the road from me, and they're open 24/7. So I'm not in there to become a meathead. I don't need the 120-pound dumbbells. It goes up to 75. I'm fine with 75. I really don't lift heavy. As a matter of fact, I do free weights, and all the weights that I do generally are pretty lightweight for what I am as far as strength wise go. I like to I focus. I do workouts, and they may not even be correct. I just do workouts that if I can feel that muscle, whatever position I can get in to feel that muscle working its hardest, that's the position I'm going in, and that's the speed I'm going in. So I stay steady and pretty slow. I don't go too slow, but I want to feel it all the way down. I want to have full control of the weights. I don't want them rocking around, and then I go in real deep and I hold for a second and I come out and I extend as far as I can. When I do shoulders, I don't stop right here. I go all the way up. So I believe in the full extension of the workouts because I can feel those the most. Uh, and this month I didn't get to work out, so I'm actually not I don't look bulky this month. When I go to the gym, I tend to I bulk up pretty quick. I mean, most people do, but because of my structure, I look a lot stronger than I did. I look like I go to the gym often when I do go to the gym. um, so I mean, oh, and I also do cable machine because I can do some really good workouts with the cable, and I it's just controlled at all times, and I extend as hard as I can, and I hold. And when I say hold, I don't just hold the weight there. Like let's say I'm doing triceps, I'll pull it down and I pull out as hard as I can for about a second or two before I start going back up. So those are my workouts. Pretty simple. I don't do any cardio. I'll try to go for a walk every once in a while, but that's really about it. Um, So yeah, that's all I can say on the workout. So the next question would be, do you have loose skin? And I I I I have a little bit of loose skin. It's really not that bad, but the problem is, and I would love to take my shirt off and show all you guys, but and I'm confident that it's actually going to go away over time because, like I said, I'm sticking with carnivore, and also, well, to answer another question, do you intermittent fast? I do intermittent fast. I don't do 24-hour and beyond fasting. I pretty much do OMAD. Um, Most of the time. Uh, and that's just not, it's actually just kind of due to my schedule. One of the days that I'm off, I'll, the days that I'm off, I'll probably eat a breakfast. I might eat a lunch, but the days that I go to work, which is often, I just kind of wake up, go to work, drop my son off, go to work all day, drive home. I'm home by 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then that's when I eat. And I eat pretty hefty. It's a pretty big meal. So yeah. Oh, that to say that that's generally, or there's a lot of research showing that that can help get rid of dead cells, which is, extra skin is dead cells. So it's really the only way to get rid of dead cells, as far as I know. So intermittent fasting can be really healthy for you, but I will go over that in a little bit because there's kind of a catch to it, at least for me. So far as loose skin, a little bit, not bad, but I also have more weight to lose. So it's really hard to tell how bad it's going to be at this point. Um, People often ask me if I suffered from depression. And so that was hard for me to answer for a while because here's the thing. I was depressed, but I was depressed, especially as a kid, a teenager. I just kind of racked that up into that was the experiences I had as a child. They were, they weren't great by any means. And also, I was a teenager. So I just figured, it was due to situational teenage angst, and that was my depression. As an adult, I had levels of depression. They hit pretty hard. I'm downplaying them a little bit. They did hit pretty hard, but I never really would classify myself as someone that was depressed. I didn't realize how depressed I was until I wasn't. And honestly, it took me about 8 months of carnivore for it to really dawn on me. Not saying I was depressed during carnivore, but when it really kind of dawned on me that, man, I really suffered from some real issues. And I don't have that anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't look at the world that way anymore. Um, so uh, so I was never diagnosed or anything like that. But and I don't know how to compare my depression to people that have to go get and take medication and stuff like that. But I did suffer from um, some pretty dark depression on a personal level. um, is your son doing carnivore? So I have posted that my son is autistic nonverbal. He's 8 years old. And I had me and his mother are divorced, and we have 50 custody of him. So I had finally convinced my ex to actually go with doing carnivore with him. And she was on board. And that was great because, uh, the situation was complicated. But unfortunately, she hasn't been able to actually produce. Uh, she's still giving him. I wouldn't even say it's keto stuff. She's still giving him, a lot of grains and stuff like that, fruits, and so I do my best here at the house, but it's not going to benefit him. Not really at all. Honestly, he may lose a little weight, but the things that I'm looking for that I want to improve in him, we're not going to see those results because as soon as he goes back, he's flushed with all the carbs and the anti nutrition, the fiber, and all that stuff. So it really sucks because I am 100% confident that it would benefit him greatly. Um, I, I just know that it would. Sorry, someone's trying to get in. That's actually probably him, but someone's watching him, by the way. Okay. Um, and that actually depresses me because I know it could. I'm very confident. I mean, I maybe if you would suggested this to me before I started Carnivore, I would have thought, oh, it's worth a shot, and but never really expected much as far as results go. But just because of everything that I've been able to accomplish doing this, especially the health, um, I just know it would work for him. But hopefully in the future, I can get her more on board. I think one of the problems is when you're feeding your, especially children on the spectrum, they have a small palate, very small palate. They actually they love carbs. They like things that are sweet, like anyone else, but they're wired to think that, well, maybe that's the only thing they have to eat because you can't sit down and have the conversation and be like, these, you can't just eat sweets all the time. They don't understand that. Also, the crunchy texture. Kids on the spectrum often like a crunchy texture or something soft that's not hard to eat, and so it really limits me on what I'm able to do. Plus, when I get him, he has the sugar addiction, he has the carb addictions, and he's throwing his fits because that's what he's looking for, and I don't have it. So we've had to fall more on the keto line. Well, not so much. We're trying to figure out our own. Like he loves chicken fingers, and so we're using pork rinds and stuff like that, trying to make some chicken fingers, and with some what is that, Parmesan cheese, and he yeah, we're working on it. I can't. He will eat wings, but the problem is, once again, he's not eating red meat, and the chicken just isn't going to cut it. I really chicken does nothing for me. I mean, like I'll cook wings every once in a while, but it's really just kind of appetizer. Like if I was just to eat a thing of chicken that day, I wouldn't gain anything out of it, like I would eating a steak or eggs and bacon and all that stuff. So he's a work in progress, not giving up. I'll never give up. It's just I got to get the other side on board more. Oh, my point was it's hard to, we're all busy, um, especially when you're a single parent. You have, there's nothing that's available at a grocery store that I can buy and just throw in an air fryer that would be 100% carnivore. So I have to make everything, I have to prep it. And that's not something that's going to be available to her because she doesn't cook. Uh, and she has, sorry, but she has, her life and stuff like that. Though I would agree with most of you that probably registered this. Well, she should make time for him. Yes, I agree, but I can't expect that out of her or anyone else. All right, we'll end that on that one. Do you fast? Like I said, yes, I do fast. And like I said, it just kind of come naturally. I really just I work 5 to 6 days a week. Those are the days that I really fast. I don't eat until I get home, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. And I on the weekends I'll eat throughout the day. And what I did want to cover on the fasting though is because I'm really close to my ideal weight. Um, what I've noticed lately is I'm actually starting to lose energy, guys. I'm getting really tired, and it's because I'm very used to the way that I've been eating, and I'm actually not getting enough fat throughout the day. So the fasting thing, I might have to put that on hold because the type of work that I do, it drains you, and I don't actually get a lot of sleep, and that's also obviously going to make me tired. But I've got to draw some energy from somewhere, so I may end up trying to get off the fasting, which will actually be hard for me because I'm normally just not hungry in the morning. But I've really got to up my fats and stuff like that because I just don't have the fat storage that I had, that I was using for that energy when I first started. All right. Do you take supplements, drugs? No. I don't take any supplements at all. But well, because they're not carnivore. I'm not trying to take anything that's going to take that away from me. For one, two, I'm very confident. And I mean, I go to the gym, and I'm just fine. So I don't feel like I need any supplements. When it comes to the drugs, a lot of people accuse me of doing steroids or testosterone. And I've said this before, it really doesn't bother me except whenever I'm posting places and they want to say, well, that's not achievable for everyone. You need to let them know what you're actually doing. And it's like, no, what I'm actually doing is carnivore. I'm not touching any of that stuff. That I'm not interested in any of that stuff, anyways. I mean, I wasn't like the next question is, do you drink alcohol? I'm not a drinker. I wasn't a drinker before. I'm not a drinker now. Do you drink coffee? I don't do stuff like that. That's just not in my nature. So I promise you guys, no drugs. If you were a big guy like me, you're really fat, but you're strong underneath, you're probably going to have similar results. You're going to find out real quick. The longer you stick with this, well, you're just going to come out looking really good. You're going to come out looking strong because I honestly don't even really think you have to go to the gym to maintain the muscle that you already have. So you're just going to be melting that fat, and then your muscles going to start showing really good. So definitely for the guys that were of my size, I mean, this is what happens. This is just what happens. So go for it. If you're on edge, definitely go for it. And then, of course, do you drink alcohol? I don't drink alcohol. Not, it's not that I never drink alcohol. It's just I wasn't really before. It wasn't my thing, and and now I definitely don't because um, I don't want to hinder my progress at this point. Do you drink coffee? So, I was not a coffee drinker ever. I have actually picked up drinking coffee, not every day or anything like that, but I will have some here and there. So, I mean, take that however you want. I do drink some coffee now. So, if you're on edge about drinking coffee, I really can't tell you the effects that it has because I mean, I feel like I do fine with it. I mean, you'll be your best judge on that. I mean, just be honest with yourself. Do a week without it if you can, and then do a week, with it. And if there was not really any difference in with it or without it, then you know. Do you do dairy? Yes. And I actually kind of do a lot of dairies. And I did at the beginning, stop, did stop. So I'm on and off with it, I guess. And it's not, it was never anything that I was trying to get off of. It's just some weeks I want dairy and some weeks I'm not thinking about it. So, though people do claim that when they do dairy, they have bad results, not taking that away from them. Pretty sure that's accurate. I mean, if I do too much dairy, I'll get constipated, but I have to do a lot. But other than that, I'm just not really interested in dropping it. I look for kind of like a treat every once in a while. Um, are you strict? Well, I'm strict in the sense that the foods that I do eat, they're all carnivore. I don't do vegetables or fruits or grain or anything like that. But my cheats will consist of I will use seasoning, which I've actually lowered that. Like I'm down to salt and black pepper at this point. Um, that just kind of came naturally. And then I would use sauces, but I've even lowered that. Like I haven't even used like a hot sauce. I know for this month at all. So I mean, yeah and no. The one thing that I am hung up on is I do sugar-free drinks from time to time, and that is something that I will be trying to rid myself of. I've had a couple attempts at it, got scared off of it, scared from doing it because I was afraid I was going to start cheating in general on the way I had been eating. So I have to be have to be really cautious with it, but I have slowed down, so there's at least that. And it's not all the time. Uh, what do you eat? Oh, dang. Okay. So what I eat here lately, I've actually been eating all kinds of stuff. So mostly red meat. I will say, and I see people say like they can't eat bacon because it slows down the progress. With me, I have my as far as weight loss goes. If I was because I'm like I said, I'm broke, so I have weeks where all I can eat is will be eggs and bacon. That's all I can afford. And I have my best weight loss those weeks when I just do bacon and eggs and butter. I lose a lot of weight. Uh, so I personally have really good luck with bacon and eggs. But as it sits, what I eat would be bacon, eggs, whether that be fried, hard boiled, scrambled, and pretty much any way you can make up an egg. I don't do a lot of scrambled, but I will. I uh, I eat a lot of ribeyes. Um, Here lately, been getting that chopped stew and just cooking it up, and I'll dice up some hard boiled eggs in it and drop it in there, and I'll throw a little vinegar on there, white vinegar. There's a specific brand that I use. It makes the eggs taste sweet, even though there's no sugar. It has like a gives it a deviled egg taste because it's a little sour and tart, but somehow it makes the egg taste sweeter. But it's a specific one. It's the Heinz one, Heinz white vinegar. If you haven't tried that, make some hard boiled eggs. Sprinkle some of that on with some salt. It's a good treat, real good. Um, so yeah, and I'll have a hard cheddar cheese here and there. There's a pretty clean sausage that I get here lately that I like. Uh, there's I do hamburger meat, not too often, but every once in a while. I do brisket still, a lot of brisket. I'll do chicken wings. Um, and barbacoa mixed with some scrambled eggs. Sometimes I'll throw some cheese on it. And I mean, really and truly, that's it. Oh, and at HEB they sell these packaged uh, pre-cooked shrimp that they're ready to eat. They're cold. You can eat them like that. I'll eat that with some butter as well. That's really it. Just or variances of that. Um, and then last question is, what is carnivore? So obviously, a lot of you that have been watching this video should know what carnivore is at this point. But carnivore is it's just a way of eating. It's our arguably our original way of eating. It's what we adapted, the way we had adapted to eat for thousands of years, and so that's what our bodies are best suited for. So you're eating nothing but meat, and that can include eggs, and that can and that includes pretty much any variants of meat that you can come across. Some people do pretty good with dairy. You can get away with dairy. Some people can't. And some people claim that you can do honey. I would stay completely away from honey because I don't consider it carnivore because, um, well, I mean, you know what honey is. And also, it's basically sugar. It spikes your insulin. So you just kind of defeat the whole purpose of doing this whole thing in the first place. It's a good way to rid your body of swelling and getting rid of all these toxins that or allergic reactions to all these different foods, whether it's seed oils, grains, what's in vegetables. They have anti-nutrients such like in fiber. that scar up your intestines and stuff like that. These are just things that your body isn't meant for. And the proof is in the pudding. Do carnivore for about a week, and you're going to find that you're not bloated or have gas, and it's because your body knows how to properly digest that stuff. You'll go to the restroom a whole lot more, but whenever you do carnivore, you don't really go number two, and it's because your body's absorbing all of that. And then when you're eating all that other junk, it's just junk. Your body can't do anything with it, so it takes the excess carbs, starves them, or stores them, and then just throws everything out. So you won't have gas, you won't be going to number two a whole lot and stuff like that. And because it's so the red meats and stuff, they're so rich in nutrition, and they do provide every nutrition that you need, and then some. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of health results. Cholesterol has been demonized, and so that's why people stay away from the butter and the fats and the meats and stuff like that. And the reality is, your whole body's built, every cell's built out of cholesterol. Your brain needs that cholesterol. You'll find that the number one thing that people will say is they had rid themselves of fog brain, and it's because now their brain is getting the fuel that it needs to work properly. These are all real things, and there's so much more. But at the end of the day, the carnivore diet is the ultimate elimination diet that provides you all the nutrition and all the nutrition that you need. And once you're fat adapted, it's going to provide all the energy that you need. You won't be storing fat because you'll be in ketosis and you'll be fat adapted, meaning ketosis, you're not in a position to store fat, and fat adaptation is you're using fat as energy. That's why most people, and I don't want to say everyone because I can only speak for myself, there's no calorie restriction for me. I don't have to count calories. I eat a lot. I know that I generally will eat once a day, but it's a big meal. And even before that, I wasn't eating once a day. I was eating a lot. And that's when I was having my biggest weight loss results. Because you're no longer storing the fat due to the carbs spiking your insulin and stuff like that, you just stand a whole lot better position of losing weight. Whenever you do any diet, you have to do calorie restrictions because you're still eating foods that spike your insulin. So meaning your body's ready to start storing fat, and if you're not burning out the excessive amount of calories that you've taken in that day, guess where it's going? It's going on your body. So yeah, there's a lot of people with massive results as far as health goes, and then a lot of people with some really good results as far as weight loss goes. I would not do this for weight loss. I would program your brain to do it for health because you won't disappoint yourself as fast. I find that people that try to do this for weight loss, they find out in a couple of weeks they didn't really lose anything. They get super disappointed and turn it off, versus people that are doing this for health, and in a couple of weeks when I realize all these health problems are getting resolved, or they're having a lot of luck with it, a month goes by and they jump on a scale and they're like, whoa, I lost 20 pounds. Those are the people that gain a lot of success. So that is a good way to program yourself if you decide to start doing carnivore. All right, so I went through all the questions that I wrote down. There have been plenty more, and this video ended up being really long, so I'll have to make another one. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get up here more consistently, guys. We'll see. I think so. And I really want to be a part of this community. And I want to help as many people as I can because holy crap, does this work? It's amazing. It is a cheat code. And that's it. Thank you, guys. Hugs and kisses. Bye, guys.